Alvin Kamara, he's being suspended 3 games. Felony charges have been dropped. There are going to be no felony charges. A plea deal has been reached. Usually that means basically he's going to be paying out for.
I think I saw 6 figures for the medical bills alone.
Exactly. He's going to be paying somebody a lot of money in order to not go to jail or in order to not have any real charges against him. But again, under the NFL personal conduct policy, he's going to be suspended the first 3 games of the season. Those first 3 games he'll be missing are against the Tennessee Titans, the Carolina Panthers, and the Green Bay Packers.
I guess you could pick 3 worse games to be missing your probably best offensive player in, Alvin Kamara. You know, he's maybe because of the injuries and last year we weren't sure, is he going to be suspended? No, he's here. He's fine. Like, they played the whole year, but the Saints have just been not what we came to expect from them, during the Drew Brees era. Maybe we've forgotten a little about how good he's been. He's been really consistent. So they are going to miss him. He's probably still their best offensive player, 1,300 yards from scrimmage last year. But it's Tennessee. It's Carolina. Like, I think Green Bay's their toughest game there, and I think Green Bay's going to be pretty good, but we don't really know what to expect from them. So I don't know if this actually affects like my perception of what they're going to be. It's, something to take into a fantasy draft. Like, hey, remember Kamara, he ain't going to be there for 3 weeks, and maybe that means he's going to be more fresh down the stretch for them. But I don't know if this is big enough for it to like seriously impact what I think. Like, I still think they should beat the Titans and beat the Panthers, right? Like, and then I don't know about maybe they need him to beat Green Bay and he's not there and that hurts them. But what do you think? Do you think this is like a major thing for their win total or?
No, because they took care of the running back position. They probably knew some suspension was going to happen, and they took care of the running back position, not because of that, but it helps that they did, okay? They got Jamal Williams over from Detroit, who was the league leader in touchdowns last year. So you bring him over and say, okay, he's out, Kamara's out, you're our starting running back. You already know what he can do and what he can bring to a team. So he's going to substitute in quite nicely, especially against teams that you're not really worried about. They're 3 winnable games.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a really good running back in place of Alvin Kamara. Again, Jamal
and they
Williams
drafted somebody in the third round.
They drafted Kendre Miller, rookie from TCU. So their running back situation is going to be fine. Now, Alvin Kamara is a better running back, obviously, than those 2 guys with the versatility he brings also in the pass game. But again, it's not going to be this loss that's going to drop them from, again, their win total is 8.5. It's not going to change. It's not going to go from, hey, you were going to win 10 games to you were going to win 8 games, right? Like, they should still come out of this stretch 2-1. Who knows what the Packers are going to be, right? I'm a big believer in Jordan Love being a breakout player of the season. I really like what I saw from him last season, but still the Packers are going to be figuring a bunch of things out. The Panthers are going to be starting a rookie quarterback, and the Titans, the first game of the season, Saints favored in that game by 3. What are the Titans? We don't know, right? Are they the team that they were 2 years ago where they made the playoffs and they were a tough out, or are they a team last year where they struggled? What is Ryan Tannehill going to be?
2 years ago, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Yeah. Eventually, you're going to get Kamara back. It's just the 3-game suspension. Like you said, felony charges, they go away. Any extra looming stuff, it's gone. So it's just, okay, we're planning at week 4 on, we're going to have Kamara. I think their offense should be pretty good. And I think with Chris Olave coming into year 2, pretty damn good rookie season after having, again, Jameis and Andy Dalton for his whole rookie season. He went over 1,000 yards. I don't think this is going to hurt the Saints a ton.
Yeah, again, and we also saying to ourselves, it's an NFC team. It's an NFC South team. Yeah. Like, it's not like it's going to change the trajectory of what goes on in the regular season and in the NFL. It's going to be a blip on the radar that nobody really cares about. Now, people who do fantasy football, they might be pissed off because Alvin Kamara consistently is a top pick when healthy in fantasy football.
Now I'm hoping people say, I'm like, ooh, can I get Kamara a little later? Is Kamara going to be the steal of the draft? That's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah. Everyone talks about Shohei being maybe the greatest baseball player ever. They talk about, hey, this guy may be one of the greatest athletes ever, if not the best athlete ever. And I pose the question, but for how long? Are we overrating this a little bit? I know that sounds crazy based on what he did yesterday, based on what he's done But you say to yourself, all right, he's hurt again. He's had issues in the first part of his career about being injured.
He's already had a Tommy John.
How long? Yeah, how consistent has he been in regards to being able to bat and pitch and do what he's special at? He's had 3 seasons of being really good, but just 3. He's 29 years old. He's getting to the 30 mark. His next contract is going to be 10 years. All right, 10 years, $700 million. Based on his injury history and the potential that, hey, once you get over 30, with some of the injuries issues that you had, are you going to continue to be a pitcher? How long are we going to be able to have you be a pitcher and a batter and stay healthy? Would that be a great deal to give him 10 years? And again, everyone usually says yes, $700 million. If, again, the guy's playing both sides. So this could be the equivalent of somebody playing, hey, you played 3 seasons, but it's really 6 seasons. You played 6 seasons, but it's really 12 seasons. Yeah. At what point does his body break down? I'm starting to think, again, this is coming off a situation here where he's going to be fine and he's going to jump right back in. But it's not like he hasn't consistently had something in regards to his arm throughout this entire season.
It's like,
would it be I've seen nobody look at the negative aspect of this, and maybe I'm tripping. But would it be bad to actually give this man a contract? Are we overrating him a little bit based on how far his body can actually take you?
I mean, like, there's no overrating what he's actually doing for these last couple of seasons. Like, what he's done is phenomenal. It's some of the greatest we've ever seen in any sport, individual effort-wise. No 10-year contract is a good contract. Because it's a 38-year-old Shohei is not going to be this. He's not going to be worth nearly $70 million a season, whatever it might be. You're just hoping it pays for itself. You get Shohei, your ballpark is full of season ticket holders. Every single one of them is wearing an Ohtani jersey. Well, right there, it paid for itself. And you're just hoping in those first 4-5 years maybe, you win a World Series, and he continues to be an MVP candidate and a Cy Young candidate. You get both out of him for a few years, and then maybe he can't pitch anymore. At least he can't pitch regularly. Maybe you're in the postseason, he's 36, and it's like, can you give us 2 tonight? And he's only pitched a few innings all season. He's just keeping his... maybe it turns into that. But I don't think there's any way to overrate what he has actually done. But no 10-year contract is good. Like, it's not going to work out in the back end.
It's just hard because I saw somebody say, hey, he may be the greatest athlete of all time. And I go to myself, well, wait a minute. How long does he actually have to do what he's doing now to be in those conversations? The Jordans, the Alis, those conversations, the Michael Phelps, the Serena Williams. How long does he have to do that? Because if you're just saying, hey, individually, like, talented, like, okay, he may be one of the most talented individuals of all time. But when you get into GOAT conversations and best, he's only been 3 seasons, right? So people are like, oh, he's a great. Well, Willie Mays was great for 15, 16 of his seasons. How long does he have to do this in order for us to be realistic, right? Like, you could say, hey, I think he's the most talented player. That's fair. Like, you only need to do that for a couple seasons.
There will always be some sort of caveat.
But
where it's
to get into the GOAT conversation,
the best individual seasons we've ever seen are 3 Ohtani seasons, and then everybody else.
Yes, but like, the GOAT conversations, the best conversations. Because I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit for a guy who's been doing this for 3 years, and really it was this year where it felt out of this world. The last 2 seasons before that was great, but this year was like, this is on both sides. As a pitcher, now he looked really good as a pitcher. Now he looks elite as a pitcher. What is it? How long does he have to do this? Yes, he's the most talented thing I've ever seen in baseball before, but let's slow our roll on some of the other hot debates that everybody likes to have in regards to GOAT. Let's allow him to do this a little
It would require more time to actually put him, but like, if he retires right now, he should go to the Hall of Fame. You know? Like, it's...
I wouldn't agree with that.
No?
No.
Can you tell the story of baseball without what Shohei Ohtani has done since he came into the league? I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
Like, what has baseball been about for the last 5 seasons?
I understand that, but 3 seasons of it? There's a lot of players with elite 3 seasons. Nobody like his, obviously. But 3 seasons?
I think it is such a unique thing that it has to be in consideration.
I wouldn't consider it at all. Just being honest with you. There's guys who have 7 all-star appearances and doesn't have anything.
Those guys did one thing.
Okay, but, this guy didn't do it in the playoffs.
Because it's not the Hall of who's the best. It's the Hall of Fame. And to me, that means who are the biggest stars? Who are the ones that you cannot tell the story of baseball without? It's a museum. And that's Shohei Ohtani right now. Like, this is the most important thing that has happened in baseball since when?